How you doing? Just going to give you a quick run through in your new van, show you where everything is, how things work. Now just when we come in the van, over the habitation doors, your wee control panel. Just this centre button at the top on the right hand side is your main on off switch. It'll switch on everything that was turned on the last time you were in the van. So a water pump, you can turn it off or you can have it on. Pump's automatic, it works in the taps anyway, so you can leave that on. This is a main switch for lights. It'll turn off or on all the lights in the van. Two auxiliaries here for different things, and this wee switch here is for the extractor fan and lights at the cooker. On the left hand side here's your levels. If we push the bottom button, it's showing us a fresh water tank, 70%. Doesn't show anything in the waste. The waste tank just has an alarm on it to tell you it's full. The next button is your batteries. So the first time we push it, it's showing us the battery in the back of the van, the leisure battery. It's 12.4 volts, and if we push it again, it shows us there's 2 amps coming out of it. If I turn off all these lights, you should see that changing. It's half an amp now going into it. Push it again, it's showing us the battery, the starting battery at the front of the van is 12.2 volts. And that's it, we're back to our clock here. So that's your whole control panel. Now just over the sink here we have our heater controls. Probably similar to what you had before. The top knob here is your power source. So when this is in the middle position, it's gas only it's using, whatever you select. And the first one up is using electric power, low power electric, and the top one is high power electric. Down the first one down from the centre is gas and low power electric, and the bottom one is gas and high power electric. So this bottom knob is what your heater's doing then. So in the centre here is off. The handiest way I remember your numbers are your water, 40 and 60 are your water temperatures. So if we turn that up, the first one, that'll heat the water to 40 degrees. Using whatever, using gas in this case, or if we turn this up using electric, you can see that flashing red now because we're not plugged in. Turn that back down to gas here. So that's the heater on heating water on the using gas power. And if we turn it up to top, it'll heat the water up to 60 degrees. That's normally only for showers and stuff. 40 degrees is sufficient for normal use. The couple of lights, little green light is just telling us it's on. The little orange light is telling us it's on water heating. And when it comes up to either 40 or 60, whatever you've selected, the heater will switch off, the little orange light will go out. Just to tell you that it's up to temperature and it's turned off. And as it cools, it'll come on and off as it's needed. And we green light will always stay on. Now, back to the centre is off. And the first one down is heating the van, your blown heating. And you have your centre dial here, the 1 to 5 for your temperature inside the van. And the bottom one here then is heating both the van and the water at the same time. So that's your water heating, or your heating altogether. Now just across here we have our fridge. Excuse me. 3-way fridge. So you have a gas setting, it's all automatic. A mains power setting, that'll go green if you're plugged in the mains. And next one down is automatic, or 12 volt. That'll only work when your engine's running, when you're driving. And you've an automatic selection down the bottom. You can see it just automatically went for gas here. If we plug in the mains lead, it'll change over itself, it'll use the mains power, or if we start the van, it'll use the 12 volts. So the automatic's the handiest one to use, it'll select for you. And just on the right hand side here, we have our temperature control for the fridge. Down minimum and up full for maximum. This wee button here is a wee heater in the freezer door frame. Slightly warms that up slightly if there's if you find it sticking closed or anything. Now, just underneath your sink, just in this wee press here, lift out this bottom basket and lift out this little floor. That's your drain for your water heater. Now the way it works is your automatic frost drain. What will happen during the winter, that top will turn around and the wee button down the back here pushes out. So we just turn that across at the top and push in the little blue button down the side of it. It'll automatically drop, or if you want to drain the heater yourself in preparation for the winter, and just turn that little knob on top and you can drain your heater. Just stick all these back in. And your drains, for the rest of your drains, just this hatch beside the toilet door. With two wee taps down here. With this little red tap is your wastewater, your grey water drain. Just turn that back towards the door, and around this position is closed. And with a little yellow tap just down here is your drain for the fresh water tank. It just pushes, it just turns down that way for open, and in the up position there is closed, and your water pump sitting in there as well. Now, just in this wardrobe, there's a couple of cushions, not sure what they're for, but your awning handle, your bike rack handle, the jack and wheel brace, and there's a spare wheel kit just in there as well. And your safe is in the press over the oven. Now your bed, we made up the bed here earlier. That's just the ordinary bottom cushion and that side seat. This long cushion here is the backrest for that side seat over there. These bottom cushions here are in the normal position, and this one here over the table is the backrest for this forward facing seat. It can be used as a single either. If you just wanted one, you could normally use this long seat here as a bed in its own. So I'll just pause this a minute, get this tidied up for you. Now, to make up your bed from scratch, this wee piece underneath the side seat here just pulls out. If you're using it as a single, if you want to use it as a double, we fold down the table with this lever just underneath the table here. If I bring that over this side, we can push the whole table down, and this support slides out, and we can push the whole table down. And when the table's in the low position, just push that lever back across and it'll lock it down the low position. Just underneath this front seat, this timber slides over and that'll rest on top of the side seat. Now the other thing, underneath this front seat are your trip switches and your fuses. They're hard to see in there. That's where your trip switches and fuses are all located. Just underneath that front seat at the table. Your TV sitting up in there. We had to take the door off. The TV's too big for the door to close, so with the door, we leave the door here with you. And your aerial is just in behind it there, the wee booster for the aerial. Now I think that's just in your bathroom. I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of the stuff in here. Your toilet, the wee blue button here for the flush, and with the wee lever on the corner for opening and closing the cassette door. Cooker and all that stuff standard enough. Just turn on your gas, hold in there. You have a wee sparker button just in front of that centre ring. So that's it. I'll do a run around the outside now. We'll start here at the front on the right hand side. We have our gas box, 2 bottles of gas with a changeover valve. Normal gas, turn up the bottle, anti-clockwise to open it, clockwise to close it, and the changeover valve We can see here it's in the bottom position. It's using the left hand bottle. We gauge the screens, we have gas, and if you want to use the other bottle, just turn that up to the top, and it's using the right hand bottle. Same, just turn them down to close them. There's your gas, and there's a spanner there for changing the bottles when they're empty. Now just back, we just have a storage locker here. Just above that, that's your heater. It's just the inspection if anything happens if you need to get at it, and you've the exhaust vent for your heater. So your mains plug-in is just underneath that kitchen window there. Back around here we have a barbecue point. I'll leave the wee adapter for the barbecue point in the blue bag for you. There'll be one in there, you can connect it onto your barbecue, just connect it in there. Bike rack, that wee handle that was in the wardrobe, it'll hook onto this, and you can lower the whole bike rack down. It's easier, put the bikes onto it and wind it up then for travelling. A ladder. Now on the left hand side at the back we have a toilet cassette, standard enough. Lift up this yellow tab here, cassette will slide out. Your normal cassette, that'll open out, screw off the lid here, that's for emptying it. We measuring cup for your blue chemical. Just pour it down, suitable location, and you've the wee button on the back here, little yellow button, is an air vent. If you hold that down as you're emptying it, it'll help everything flow out. And we can see you have an outside shower here as well. There's the shower hose in that little bag there. Shower hose will connect on here, and you have an on-off switch and hot and cold temperature for an outside shower point. Now toilet cassette, and just sit back in there, just push it back into place, these locked in place. Next is your water filler. Now low down here with just another storage locker, we can see out the far side there, and over it here another wee locker. This is underneath your side facing seat, just your carpet, you can get it from outside. Now just behind the passenger doors, your diesel tank, and around the front here we have our engine. Now your dipstick is just down the, just left of the centre here as you're looking in, just down there, and your oil filler, is that cap with the yellow oil can on top of it if ever you have to put oil in it. Your screen wash is right in the back, that blue cap right in the back, there's your windscreen washer bottle. Front one here is the coolant, that yellow cap is your brake fluid. Over in front of the passenger side here, your battery is underneath the driver's floor, or passenger floor, sorry, and that's your positive jump lead. If you ever have to jump start it or jump start anybody, connect your positive jump lead on that is underneath that wee cover there. And this wee point here is your earth point, and that's most of outside of it. I forgot to tell you where your leisure batteries are, just remember there doing that. Leisure batteries are underneath your oven. Just press under the oven, go down underneath in there's your 2 leisure batteries, 2 new batteries in it. So that's it, hope you enjoy it, get good use out of it. Thank you.